Dear viewers, in this video data will be analyzed using a t-test in SPSS. So please watch the video up to the end. At the end of this video, you will be competent to analyze your data using a t-test in SPSS. Please like, share, and subscribe to JS Academy for getting notifications of the latest videos.
Now I will show you how we test null hypothesis using the t-test. And as we know that t-test is a parametric test, and for this, suppose a hypothetical example is here, and the null hypothesis is mean score of the CBSE board students in mathematics is equal to the mean score of the UP board students in mathematics. And the other form of this null hypothesis is there is no significant difference in the mean score of CBSE board students and UP board students in mathematics at 0.05 level of the significance. For these two null hypotheses, alternate hypothesis will be the mean score of CBSE board students and UP board students are not equal in mathematics. The mean score of the CBSE board students and UP board students differ in mathematics. So for these hypotheses, null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis, we will check it using the t-test. As we know that we test the null hypothesis, suppose the data is given in Excel, and as we know, as we see here, 100 students marks are given here in mathematics, and 50 students are from CBSE board and 50 students are from mathematics UP mathematics board. And here the data in Excel is given. As we see, 100 marks here in Excel, marks in mathematics of the 100 students are presented here, and as we see that the 50 students are from the CBSE board and other 50 students are from the UP board. And in D column, coding is here. One is for the CBSE mathematics and we coded two for the UP board mathematics, and we want to check is there difference in the mean score of the CBSE board students are and the mean score of the UP board students. But we want to check it with the help of SPSS software. So we open the SPSS, and we will import the data from Excel to SPSS. Now SPSS is open, and we can see that some types are given here: file, edit, view, data, transform, analyze, graph, utilities, extension, and others. Here two types are here: data view and variable view. In data view, data is visible, and in the variable view we will define the variable and its nature. So first we import the data from Excel. So we click file and import data. We go to the import data, and the nature of the data is in Excel format. So we click Excel and we search our data. As we know that I have put my data on the desktop, so we select the desktop and data for t-test. Here it is visible. We select it, and then if this data file is selected, then we click open. Here we can see the same data is being imported or not. So we see that some other data is visible here. So from the worksheet, we click and select the worksheet, and in sheet 1, in the Excel sheet 1 data is given, so we select sheet 1, and we see that our data, that is the score in mathematics of the CBSE board and UP board, are visible here. So data is selected, and then we click OK. Now we see that in SPSS, data is visible. In the first column, serial number is given. In the second column, maths score is given. And board name is in third column, and ID is one. That is the coding. Actually, it is a coding. One for the CBSE math and two for the UP board mathematics students. So data is here. And now we click the variable view. First, we see the nature of the variable. In variable view tab, we see serial number is given here. We are interested about the mathematics score and board ID. As we see, mathematics score, the nature is numeric, so it is okay, and we can change it, but there is no need to change because it is numeric. And board ID is numeric, and we see some other options are here, but there is no need to change it. And width is here, and board id, the width is 1, that is only two codings are there, 1 and 2, so there is no need to increase the width. And score data is in numeric, and the width is 3, so it will be visible. And what we see, labels math score is visible, and missing none, there is no data which is missing. Column, right, left, no. But one interesting thing is, an important thing is to measure column. We see that mathematics score is on the scale. Its nature is scale, that is not nominal and ordinal, so it is okay. And if nominal or ordinal is visible, then we will change it to scale. And the board ID is nominal, and its nature is nominal, that is only 1 and 2, that is only two categories are given, 1 and 2. One is for the CBSE board and 2 for the UP board, so it is okay, it is nominal, and it will work. If we change it to scale, then it will also work, so there is no need to change it. And the name is properly given, that is maths score, math underscore score, and board underscore id. If there is a space between these two words, then it will not accept. So there should not be space between the board and id or math and score, so we use this symbol. Now we go to the data view, and in data view we see that the maths score in the second column is visible, and board name in third column, and board id is in the fourth column. So we are going to analyze it with the help of t-test. We click analyze. Again, we want to show you analyze tab is here. We click analyze, and it t-test comes under the compare means and proportions. Under this part, t-test is considered. So we click compare means and proportion, and then we see so many options are statistics are given: means, one sample test, independent sample t-test, paired sample t-test, one way ANOVA, and ANOVA. As we have earlier discussed in the previous video, that here two groups comes from different population, one from the CBSE board and other from UP board. So independent sample t-test will be used. We should use it, and not to use the one sample t-test or paired sample t-test, since both the groups comes from two different population, so both the samples are independent, so we click the independent sample t-test. And we see in this dialog box maths score is visible, and since we want to test the mathematics score, so in this box, that is for the test variable, we enter this math score by this button under the test variable, and board id is selected and we enter it in the grouping variable because we want to make two groups, one for the CBSE board and other for UP board. And as we know that the coding 1 is given for the CBSE board and coding 2 is given for the UP board. So board ID we enter it in grouping variable. Now we define this variable. If we do not define it, then it will not work and error will show. So we click this and define the group, and as we know that here 1 is written and it is okay, but we can again write 1 if we want to change it, and group 2 is 2 for the UP board and it is here. So after entering this 1 and 2, we click continue. So groups are defined here. You can see in this tab board ID 1 and 2 is visible. Now we click the option button here. Option confidence interval percentage 95% is visible here. It is in the default setting. We can change it depending on the level of significance. Since we have selected the level of significance 0.05, so confidence interval will be 95. So it is okay. And we click continue. And then we click OK and hope that the result will be visible. We see the result file, output file in the SPSS is open, and here we see three tables, and we want to explain this what the table says. In table first, group statistics is given, and we see that the maths score is here, and board ID 1 and 2, one for the CBSE board students and 2 for UP board students. Here n is given and mean, here we see mean, and the mean for the CBSE board students is 56.12 and the mean for UP board students is 45.33. Standard deviation for these two groups is 20.56 and 16.40, and standard error of mean is also given. As we see that there is some difference in the standard deviation, so variance will also be changed, but we will check it whether there is large difference in the variance or not. Now we go to the second table, independent, and this is the main table based on which we will check that whether the null hypothesis is accepted or rejected. In the second table, we see maths score is here, and here two options are results are given in two rows. One in the equal variance assumed and other is equal variance not assumed. And as we know that one of the important assumption for the t-test is that both the groups are homogeneous, is there homogeneity or not. And for checking the homogeneity, Leibniz test of equality of variance is measured. And here we see that the Leibniz test of equality of measures variance, the values are given. F value is given 5.786 and the significance value is 0.01. It means null hypothesis for the Leibniz test of homogeneity. And what is the null hypothesis for the Leibniz test of homogeneity? It is that there is no significant difference in the variance of both the groups. Since null hypothesis is there is no significant difference And but what we see, the p value is 0.01. It means it is rejected. It is rejected. Null hypothesis is rejected. What it means, if the null hypothesis is rejected, since the significance value is less than 0.05, it means there is difference in variance of both the groups. Since it is significant at zero point zero 0.01 level, it means null hypothesis for the equal variance is rejected, and it means there is difference in the variance. If there is difference in the variance, it means the second result will be accepted, that is equal variance not assumed. So we will see the table value in the second row of this column, equal variance not assumed. And for this we see the t value is 2.893. T value is 2.893, and degree of freedom, as we know that if the equal variance is not assumed, then we use to find the degree of freedom in another formula, a different formula, and from this the degree of value decreases, so it becomes 91.705, and this is made for the correction, and it is used when the variance are not equal. And for two-tailed test, two-sided p-value 0.005, which is less than zero point zero 0.05. We see here for two-sided t-value 0.005, which is very less than 0.05. It means null hypothesis is rejected. And the mean difference is 10.78, and the standard error is 3.72, and the ratio of these two values is the value of t, and we see that t value is already given, that is 2.89, which we can see that this is the mean difference and standard error difference ratio. We find 2.89, and for two-sided p value is 0.005. It means for this degree of freedom, that is 91.70, it is less than 0.05, so the null hypothesis will be rejected. And now we see this column, 95% confidence interval of the difference. As we see, the value are more than 0 in both the column, that is 3.38 and 18.19. If any value is less than 0 and another value is greater than 0, in other words, we can say that if 0 comes between these two values, then we should not accept this result. But since here both the results, both the values are greater than 0, one is 3.38 and another is 18.19, so this result should be accepted. So from this column we see that whether we accept it or not. And in this way we see that the null hypothesis is rejected since the p-value is 0.005, which is less than 0.05. If the case will be equal variance assumed, it means it is not significant. For this, the p-value should be large, and here it should be more than 0.05. In that case only, we should consider equal variance assumed, and we will see the result in this row, that is t-value 2.90 and degree of freedom 98, which is 100 minus 2, that is 50 minus 1 plus 50 minus 1, and significance level is 0.005, which is less than 0.05. So in this case also, null hypothesis will be rejected, and there will be the difference in the mathematics score of the UP board and CBSE board students. And for this, the mean score is 10 and standard deviation is this, and also the 95% confidence interval are both the values are more than 0, so it will be accepted. But only we will follow this line, that is the first column, when first row, when the significance value is great is higher, that is greater than 0.05. But in this case, since the significance value is less than 0.05, then we follow the second line, that is equal variance not assumed. Now we see what we get. We see that the null hypothesis, that mean score of the CBSE board students in mathematics is equal to the mean score of the UP board students in mathematics, and this null hypothesis is rejected, and the alternate hypothesis, that is the mean score of the CBSE board students and UP board students are not equal in mathematics, will be accepted. And in other words, we can say it that the mean score of the CBSE board students and UP board students differ in mathematics.